Welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, my book of poetry and history and a thought for the day, available at all good bookshops. Well, on this day, in 32 BC, a dreadful bloody event occurred, the murder of Julius Caesar, Roman general and politician, who was assassinated on the steps of the Senate by a bunch of conspirators who were actually Roman senators, most of them. Caesar had been told by soothsayers, fortune tellers, to beware the Ides of March, and this day is the Ides of March. The 15th of March is the Ides of March. Caesar nevertheless went to the Senate on that day, where he was due to give a speech. He was met on the steps by the conspirators and stabbed, we are told, a total of 36 times. What a ghastly event that must have been. The conspirators acted because they feared for the Roman Republic and democracy. They were kind of honest republicans and highly regarded at the time. And they were worried after Caesar returned from conquering Gaul and proclaimed himself dictator, because they thought that democracy was under threat. It has sort of overtones today in what's happening in certain parts of the world. In fact, their actions brought about the opposite, the unforeseen result of ending the Republic altogether. Civil war followed, and the start of Imperial Rome, run by a series of really dreadful Roman emperors in the early parts of the Imperial Rome. Caesar himself had been highly popular with the Roman mob, and in his will he left lands and property to them, and they were furious when he was assassinated, and very angry with its purpose, with the perpetrators of the assassination, these Roman senators like Marcus Brutus and Cassius. Well, William Shakespeare told the whole story in his famous play Julius Caesar, and he did it pretty accurately, really. It's amazing how Shakespeare is able to get all the facts together and turn them into a wonderful play. But he did that several times, using historical facts that he must have gathered in some way and really processed in his brain and turned into wonderful plays like Macbeth, Julius Caesar, Othello, King Lear. They're all extraordinary processing of historical facts. Well, I'm going to read part of Julius Caesar's play. The play, it's the speech by Marcus Antonius, or part of it, following Caesar's death. And it's a great example of someone saying one thing but really meaning another. He's saying, these men who killed Caesar are all honourable and acting for the good of the Republic. But underneath, he's saying to the mob, you need to do something about this. This is not on. You've got to stop this, and things have got to change. And the Mark Antony, the man making this speech, actually did well in the civil war that followed for a short time. Here we are. But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honourable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honourable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. It is his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. The will, of course, is Caesar leaving all his wealth to the mob, and dreadful things happened when they heard that. Today I will try not to be a resentful person remembering past hurt. I will try instead to remind myself that by forgiving others I am helping myself. Thank you for listening today.